Okay, I've got 25 and a half. We're going once, going twice. All in, fair warned, and sold.
You're listening to the How's It Going podcast.
Tony Abbott in Budgie Smugglers.
Yeah, no.
Interest rate cut.
The election.
Interest rate cut, Charles. Interest rate cut down 0.25.
I just want milk that tastes like real milk.
What do you mean the bank is out of money? Insolvent?
Let there be 1,000 blossoms bloom as far as I'm concerned. But I ain't spending any time on it because in the meantime, every 3 months, a person is torn to pieces by a crocodile in North Queensland.
Hello and how's it going? Welcome back to episode 5 of the podcast. My name is Christian. I am joined as usual by my co-host Madison. And we actually have made a bit of a change in personnel. Upon receiving feedback from quite a few different sources, we have made the very painful decision to terminate Ben's ongoing relationship with the How's It Going podcast. There are no hard feelings amongst any of the hosts. We parted ways very amicably, and we have actually already found a replacement. We now have Petra joining us. Petra is a buyer's agent, so we feel she's uniquely qualified to offer additional insight that Ben just couldn't.
Thank you.
I am joking. We didn't actually sack Ben. We did have this recording session booked in a week prior, and Ben very inconsiderately decided to go and become a father today. So,
Yeah, go and give birth.
yeah, big congratulations to Ben and Tegan. We're very, very happy for them. Ben will be back on the podcast.
We'll let him tell his story and tell us all about it.
Absolutely. But I'm going to hand over to Maddie now. She's going to give you guys an overview of what the plan is for today's episode, and she's going to also help introduce our special guest today, Petra, in a bit more detail.
Awesome. So today we have the lovely Petra here on the podcast from Heims South Coast. She is did I say that correctly?
Yes,
you did. I did. I thought I should have asked beforehand. She is a buyer's agent in the Wollongong, Illawarra area. And Ben and I have had the amazing pleasure of both doing a deal with Petra this year. And we both had such an amazing experience. And we just thought with her knowledge, we would love to get her on the podcast and just hear what it's like to be a buyer's agent, why you should use one. And yeah, can't wait to take it away with you, Petra.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me.
No problem at all.
And we expect at least 1 or 2 shameless self-plugs of your business. That's what this podcast is all about.
I'll tell you.
So do you just want to tell us just a bit about yourself, like away from being a buyer's agent? Tell us about yourself, what you do on a day-to-day basis. And
Yeah, who am I? So my name is Petra Phillips. I'm originally actually from Czech Republic. A lot of people ask me, where is that accent from?
Glad I got that out of the way nice and early.
I'll tell you right now. So it's from Czech Republic. I've been here for over 15 years and been living in Wollongong for over 10 years now. And it's just a place that I absolutely love and admire. And I could be the best business development manager for this area because
Wollongong's number one fan.
Oh, it's number one. And it's it's a place where I live, but I actually now helping people to move to this area, and it just makes my days. And it's something that I'm really passionate about.
Beautiful. So when you first came here from the Czech Republic, whereabouts did you start your journey?
So I started my journey in Sydney, as everyone would probably. But yeah, just unfortunately after the divorce, I just really want to start a new fresh life,
change, literally.
And the ocean and the sea change was the one. So so I moved to Wollongong, and this is definitely my place where I want to
continue living.
And
we're all about a bit of a plug of each individual suburb here as well, as we've heard on previous episodes.
Yes.
What suburb do you live in, Petra?
I live in Fairy Meadow.
Beautiful, Fesmez.
Yes.
Fesmez. It's
Princess Highway, Fairy Meadow.
Yeah,
Can't get any better.
No,
when I actually bought, my son was like, I don't want to live in Princess Highway and Fairy Meadow. I'm like, well, that's a bad luck because we're not moving anywhere.
The suburbs snob.
It's definitely not for boys,
That's why we all say Fesmez. It sounds a little nicer. To be fair, a lot of my Sydney friends regularly, they always laugh at me when they say, you guys literally have a suburb called Fairy Meadow. Like,
Yes, my princess girly pop suburb. that there is.
You know, it's like my son is such a boy. And even like when he was little, I was like, oh, do you want the frozen Coke? And he's like, I don't want the frozen Coke because that's for girls. I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, because Frozen is
The
for
movie?
girls. The movie.
Oh, God love him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So how did you start your property journey?
So I started in 2019 when I actually moved to I've basically was working around Wollongong. But then I got into so I really come from a tourism industry. I used to be a travel agent for a really long time.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've always been working with people, helping people, you know, traveling to Europe. However, though, like when I came to Wollongong, there was literally no jobs in travel because why would people travel out of Wollongong, right? And so then I got into property market, basically like in Kiama, where I was helping like people. It was basically like a property management for the Airbnbs and Booking.com properties.
So holiday rental.
So holiday rentals, that's it. And then I got a job. It was just too much traveling and that. So then I actually got my first job in real estate. Did that for a few years. And then I actually discovered how, you know, every second person here is buying from Sydney. And it's really tearing my heart, honestly, where they come in, they see this beauty and the lifestyle that we live in, but then they just overpaying and they don't know what they're buying.
Yep.
So, I really wanted to make that change and really help them out.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
So how going from property management, I mean, that's where my background started as well, property management to sales. What do you prefer?
What do I prefer? Well, I think I love what I do now, like buyer's agents, and, you know, it's really like helping these buyers, those innocent buyers that nobody, unfortunately, nobody cares about. I do.
Yes.
I do.
Person advocate.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through the role of a buyer's agent and how they strategically advocate for clients throughout the property purchasing process?
So basically, how do you help people? What do you actually do?
What I actually do,
I think we have a lot of listeners who probably don't even know what a buyer's agent actually does.
Yes, that's right.
It's a term that gets thrown around a lot and everybody sort of knows that it's something that exists. But I've had people tell me personally, they're like, what does a buyer's agent actually do? Like, is it worth it? Do I pay that extra money? You know, how does it help?
Absolutely.
So this is where the shameless self-plug comes in.
Yeah. And look, I started like 2.5 years ago. And when I first started, everyone was like, I'm like, oh, I'm buyer's agent. And they're like, oh, what's that? You know, it's not like, oh, I'm a doctor and, you know, everyone knows what they do, right? So buyer's agents, what we do is basically we are on the side of the buyer. We don't sell properties. That's the real estate agent's job. But we don't sell properties, but we actually help people buying the right one. And even though like real estate agents will tell you, oh, like we can do that as well and we can help, you know, that's what we care about. We care about the buyers. But let's be honest.
Madison gets paid. Madison gets paid by the vendor.
We get paid by the vendor. You get paid for the buyer.
That's exactly
As much as Maddie is good at what she does and she does like to help buyers, her primary function is an advocate of the vendor.
Yes.
She works for the vendor.
Absolutely. That's exactly right. And if if the real estate agents are happy to help the buyers, they will only help them to buy the property that they are selling.
Yes. Correct.
But what I can help is basically I literally get the brief, what the people are looking for, and then I go to all the real estate agents in the area. But it's not only to real estate agents. We buy properties like very differently.
Off markets,
and even privately. I bought like literally people knocking on people's door and I'm like, do you want to sell your property? Or like, yeah, sure. So that was great. Even on Facebook, I bought a property from Facebook.
Wow.
Can you believe
Facebook Marketplace got an upgrade, huh?
Yeah.
Realestate.com who?
Don't need it. Facebook Marketplace.
Exactly. So there's so many different ways, you know. Sorry, I got a bit lost there.
No, that's okay. That's all right. Yap away.
So your main job is where Madison acts on the behalf of the vendor, you act on the other side of that equation on behalf of the buyer. And you effectively take over a lot of the responsibility from the buyer. So you'll go as far as, I'm assuming, even doing shopping around for them and looking at, do you go to open houses with them on their behalf as well, like the works?
Yeah. So look, if how long do we have? Because that will take us a little bit longer. What I do, it's basically the buyers will tell me a little brief what they're looking for, what is their like must-haves, what's their deal breakers, what would be quite nice to have, what they would appreciate, but that's something that they really don't want to have as well. And we talk about it and things. But then people often will know, oh, this is their budget and this is what they want. But then I actually tell them, but do you know that you can afford to buy very different property that is a lot more profitable for you in the long term? And, and they're like, oh, wow, didn't know that. So, for example, I just had an investor from Canberra and she come up to me wanting to buy a 2-bedroom apartment in CBD. And I bought her a 3-bedroom house in Dapto.
There you go.
For the same money.
Yeah.
So, people just have no idea really what they can buy for
if you're
their
not from
budget.
the area, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If you're not from Wollongong, you're not going to know that Dapto is one of the fastest growing suburbs in the CBD units.
Absolutely.
You're not going to know that unless you're from the area.
And guess what? And she has now no strata as well to pay, right?
Yeah.
Like, who wants to deal with strata?
Exactly right.
We've covered that before. We love strata.
Yeah. So basically, I'll go through the brief, and then what happened next is that I go out and actually start looking for the property, but then we actually inspect the property for them on their behalf as well. And then I basically do all the video and everything, and then I send that through to them on the WhatsApp. But we communicate every day, it's kind of like they're not my clients. They're like my best friends.
Yeah.
We literally just communicate everything on WhatsApp, anytime, 8 p.m. at night while I watch a movie with my partner.
These people are time poor. That's why they have you. And also people overseas. I know that you had a client that you were looking on the behalf of from the United States.
That's right.
So these people, I guess, time differences. You're talking to them at all times and
I had
a
a client from Singapore as well, and from Europe. There were people relocating from US as well. So
It's becoming an international.
Yeah, I was like, I was like,
New York, what?
I know. I was like, how do you know about Wollongong? Why Wollongong?
Very, very random.
Yeah,
maybe they were cyclists and they knew about us because of the international cycling.
I see. You see?
I can't even remember what the original I just remember not being able to get to soccer one day because all the roads were closed. But anyway,
I know. Bike lanes are all still there.
That's it.
So. Sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah, there we go. We've done that multiple times.
No, that's okay. We give it a go.
We're all competing for the limelight, No, I was just going to ask a follow-up question because you mentioned it very briefly. So do you more so tend to deal with investors or do you also deal with people who are actually wanting to move here?
Yeah, so I deal with absolutely anyone but who is buying property in Wollongong and South Coast because this is what I know.
Yep.
I know the market here. I know how it moves and everything. So if you ask me about Sydney, no, sorry, I can't help.
Naturally.
Yeah.
It's a different ball game.
Do you tend I mean, obviously you know your own trends with your business. Do you see that do you tend to find you get more investors or more owner occupiers or is it pretty even mixed?
It's really, really mixed. I have downsizers, investors. Yeah, really mixed. But more like I think the family homes, where they really want to make it right.
Yeah.
It's maybe I'll get more owner occupiers.
Yeah. Do you find that a lot of your clients, especially the first home buyers, are coming to you because of all the doom and gloom in the media? They're scared. They're thinking, how am I going to get in the market? That having a buyer's agent is going to be an advocate for them.
Yeah, definitely. Look, it's really variety. I had a few first home buyers and, this is really for someone like who really needs that guidance. And first home buyers are definitely the ones. But it's a little bit tougher with them, they do have the budget, but people don't realize really I actually save them so much money and time as well. I shouldn't really say it now.
We told you, shameless self-plug. That's what we're all about here.
But yeah.
Ben was the king of shameless self-plug, so someone's going to take his place, Petra. Go for it.
I'm so sorry, but, these clients even have $1.5 million budget, but I buy for 1.4.
Yep.
200,000 below that what they would want to offer. I had a lady, she wanted to offer $1.9 million on this property. I bought it for 1.565.
Yeah.
So,
That's something we were talking about before. Having two people act on both parties removes the emotion out of it, right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
us on the behalf of the vendor, you're completely removing the emotion from it. And then us being in touch with the buyer's agent, you're doing that on the behalf of the buyer. So it kind of removes that intensity, emotion out of it, which is awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's a lot of people think like, oh, we are very nervous about negotiation. But a lot of people think it's about the price.
Yeah.
But it actually is about the condition as well. A lot of people don't know what they can ask for.
Yeah.
I had a client where that was actually with Ben. They didn't have an occupational certificate there. But our conveyancer, I was like, no, this is what we need to put in there and that. But the conveyancer will do it. But he's just not going to come up with these conditions to cover really that buyer. But I really make sure that it's in there.
Yeah.
So
you're paying for skill that's been obviously built up over time.
Yeah.
And that's what we were speaking about in the last episode about purple bricks. People just think it's that easy of just uploading your property onto a website and it being
we
all
weren't going to
good.
talk about purple bricks.
Yeah, I know. We weren't going to plug them again.
That was your rule. You said you didn't want to bring them up again.
I've seen one in Balgownie, can I just add? And that property was listed for like $1.6 million, but it was maybe worth like 1.2, 1.3. Really, let's be realistic.
Yeah.
Right?
It's the house where they raise their children, and so it automatically makes it worth more.
Yeah, and I get it, right? But and there was nobody there, but I was like, oh, yeah. But it's waste of your time.
Exactly right.
Wasting your time.
You've been doing this for a couple of years now. How have you seen change? I mean, the property market has changed massively, as we know, in the last six or so years. How has your role changed throughout those years?
My role or the market?
Well, I guess your role in the market.
Let's make it complicated.
I guess a way to narrow down that question is: have you found that you've been, has your role in that market become more prominent? Are buyers agents on the rise? Are more people using your services?
Oh, absolutely. It's like every month is busier and busier, honestly. And, when I first started, I remember I was telling people what is buyers agents, but now people actually calling me is like, we are looking for buyer's agent in Wollongong. I was like, how, how this happened? It's definitely on really higher demand there for sure.
Beautiful
stuff. So I guess the main thing, just to kind of sum up for everybody listening, at the end of the day, if I wanted to buy a property in Wollongong, I could come speak to you and you would quite literally do everything for me from start to finish.
Literally. You can just sit home and pretty and just wait for my message.
So I literally
I just give you the keys.
Here's my budget. Here's what I want. Make it happen. And that's
And I'll make that magic happen.
Which I think I've had comments from some of my customers who a lot of people seem to think that buyer's agents, they will guide you in terms of where you should look and what you should do on a rough basis. They don't realize that you will actually quite literally be their representative.
Oh, yeah.
Like if a property goes to auction, for example, you will go to the auction and bid on their behalf. Right?
Petra's out there doing more opens than me on a Saturday sometimes.
I know. And it's like, I always complain on my stories, right? But, you guys always plan out your opens really nicely. The other day, I did 3 loops.
I know.
Oh my goodness, But I'll make it happen though.
Yeah, that's the main thing. I think just so people understand, obviously, what your role in this equation is. It's not, you don't have a specific role. It's you do everything for them.
Yeah.
You basically become their advocate in that entire
absolutely.
I guess you then have the opportunity to build up your relationship with real estate agents over time, that they can let you know of things that are coming up before they hit the market, any off-market sales, things you sign up that aren't going to, hit the internet. So building up those relationships with agents, I guess, is super important.
It's so amazing. And, as I've been around and, I just come to the opens and, real estate agents just be like, oh, Petra, just come in. Come on.
We'll give you the rundown. Come on.
Yeah. And, but it's really important for me to keep that relationship. I love it as well because they give me so much priority. As well as, those emails. My emails are flooded with off markets and, calling me like, Petra, this is coming up. I just signed it.
Yeah.
Do you know someone?
Buy something for me.
I just had an agent now and he's like, oh, I don't think I'm probably the last real estate agent doing a deal with you. So come on, let's do it.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
It's very nice.
You're
ticking
popular
boxes.
demand.
VIP.
Ticked off,
Petra goes to open houses, guys, and there's just a red carpet rolled out.
Yeah, that's how I feel. It's nice.
Welcome champagne, everything, the works.
That will be a next
time. Next time.
Good stuff. I guess another question we wanted to ask is, just so people understand exactly what you do, what does a typical day in the life actually look like for you in terms of not your personal life anymore, work-wise? How do you start your day? What actually sort of happens over the course of a day? What are the main sort of things you sort of do and get through in the day?
So look, when I started my business, like I really was, that person, I'll quit this 9-to-5 job and, I work 24/7.
Yeah, it's just a matrix of 9 to 5, but it turns into 24/7. Yeah.
Please. And even my buyers are like, oh, Petra, do you actually have a day off? I'm like, not really. It's like my social media is literally my emails because I'm just going through these properties. And I feel like I have seen and know about every single sale that's come through. Because I need to know that property just was sold for that much. So then I know, if I'm buying around the corner, then I know.
You need to stay relevant and your knowledge needs to be.
Even if properties aren't necessarily suitable to your buyers, you need to do a lot of research so that when one does come up that is suited.
People always think working for yourself's a dream, and then you realize that you just don't stop working. No one's there to tell you to clock off.
That's it. But you know what? Like, I absolutely love what I do. So it's not a job to me. And it's a hobby as well. So, I don't really take it as it's a job. Yeah. So good. I love it.
Beautiful. Well, I guess one other question we will ask, and look, obviously, one of those very touchy subjects, the one that everyone I'm sure is hanging to hear. Obviously, there comes the issue of payment. Because obviously, as much as you love what you do, just as much as all of us do, I think, Mads, you're nodding. Yeah. We all love what we do. At the end of the day, we all still need to put bread on the table as well. So obviously, I mean, in my line of work, I don't get paid directly by customers. I get paid a commission by the bank. Mads also gets paid a percentage-based commission, so it's completely incentivized for her as well. How do you get paid? Do you charge a flat fee? Is it a percentage of sale? How does that work?
So as a real estate agent, they charge fee, right, as a commission-based. Well, working with a buyer's agent, I truly believe it wouldn't make sense because our job is to get you the cheapest possible price. And if we get you a property for cheaper, then means that I get less. I'll be like, so we work off a flat fee.
Cool.
It's a fixed fee that at least what you're dealing with before you signing up. So it's fair for both of the parties.
Well, I mean, you're doing so much work before the property. And you've got some clients. I know the one that on our particular transaction we did, he was on your books for 8 months.
That was the longest client, the most particular client. And he was about 5-6 months.
Crazy. Yeah.
It was the longest one for sure.
I think obviously, I think that's why I asked, because I'll be honest, I don't know how you get paid. I haven't dealt with enough.
Well, I'll tell you.
Know how it works. I think it's good for people to know that if you're charging a flat fee, it means that you are always acting in their best interest. Because if you were incentivized like me and Maddie, where it's a percentage basis off the transaction, you're inclined, obviously, at the end of the day, if you want to look after your own business.
That's right.
You're not incentivized to get the lowest price possible.
You should do it as an opposite. The cheaper the property, the higher the percentage.
I know. A lot of people as well, I would say 80-90% of the time, I actually purchase below the price guide. And I was like, maybe I should charge some commission if I save you that much. But I don't do
sliding
that.
Scale on the difference.
Come on, if
reverse
I
commission
don't
basis.
My partner is always like, you don't do it for the money, you do it with love. So, and that's different.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think that's
something more out of it.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
for those listening, waiting for me to ask the next question of how much she charges, I'm not going to ask that. If you want to know how much she charges, you call Petra and you find out.
Call Petra and find out.
I'm not doing your dirty work for you guys.
So, how can everyone find you?
You can really easily find me on socials. I'm always there on Instagram, but as well, of course, like on our website, on Google, and the website is heims.com.au. So it's spelled HEIMS.com.au.
Beautiful. And Petra's content is amazing. It's very informative. I'm a avid watcher.
Oh, thank you.
Follow her day to day. She spends her mornings down at North Gong at Diggy's most mornings.
Oh, not anymore. I don't have that time. I'm still trying.
If she's gone for a walk down on the Blue Mile, she'll still take your phone call 7 in the morning.
And you know what? Like, I just literally put my headset on and it's very productive. Yeah.
For the record, I will say,
Perfect.
if you can avoid bothering Petra at 7 a.m, please try. Please at least try wait till
That's
8:30
okay. No,
to
I'll
call
they
her.
can have a time
I'll take it.
difference.
No, come on. I'll take it.
She's too nice to say no. She'll take the call anyway. I won't. If you call me at 7 a.m, I'm not picking up.
Oh, yeah, I'll put you, yeah.
You do the whole, I'm not asleep.
I did that this morning when you called me.
He goes, I called Christian this morning being like, Ben's in labour. And he goes, Madison, I just feel like I need to let you know I am in bed right now.
No, unfortunately, with my job, everything I do relies on the banks. And the banks aren't going to be working at 7 a.m. So therefore, even if I do
don't have
process
to.
something, there's no point. It's not going to get picked up. So
Absolutely.
that's what I told myself anyway.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
No, I just, yes. But even like today, we actually had a building and pest done yesterday morning. And I know this client is like super busy. I don't even call her. I just text her or email her. And she was like, can I please like talk to you? I'm like, of course you can. Like, come on, we all human beings. So come on, pick up that phone and call me anytime. Yeah.
There you go. So Petra is a lot better than I am in that sense. If you call me at 7 a.m, there's a very high chance I'm still in bed.
Is there anything else that you kind of want to touch on or speak about in terms of what you do or?
Yeah, just really wanted to maybe mention something that, a lot of people will think that, working with buyer's agent is someone who's going to buy $5 million property, but it's not like that.
Well, it does feel like a bit of a bougie
Yeah,
thing
that's
to
like
have.
everyone, watches
Got my
the
buyer's
shows.
agent. Or they're always walking into that Selling Sunsets episode with
That's
their
it.
suits on, all intimidating.
I inspect properties in my Birkenstocks. That's the best way because then you can actually feel if the floor is.
Oh, there you go. I might start going into appraisals in my Birkenstocks.
That's a life hack I did not think I was going to get tonight.
There you go. That's your little
Picture getting the marble out on the floor. Moves.
Literally. I'm like, no, I'm going up and down here. I'm not talking. Yeah.
I feel a draft. What's going on? That window's not sealed properly.
Oh, yeah, that's it. But I just wanted to mention that, it's absolutely buyer's agents and that help and that support is for absolutely everyone. You don't have to be purchasing a $5 million property. Literally, it's for everyone who is time poor, doesn't know anything about the process and just wants to make sure that is buying the right property in the right street.
Yep. That's it.
I think even, for example, first home buyers, I think something like that would be amazing for a lot of first home buyers.
Yeah.
I speak to so many first home buyers and it's not even so much that they're scared of the transaction itself. They just don't know how it works.
Yeah.
And having someone acting for you on your behalf in your corner,
That's right.
It'll take a lot of that stress and a lot of that pressure away.
Absolutely. And, everyone wants to hear about the process over and over and over. And I'm telling you, even I have clients where they purchase third property and they're like, oh, can you tell me what happens if that happens and that? I'm like, sure.
You need to just do a
I'm
part
your
series.
mom here. I'll guide you through. So, yeah, that's it.
Beautiful. Anything else either of you want to add?
I
think we're good. Well, we're going to wrap that one up there then. Petra, thank you so much again for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for coming.
Really appreciate your time. We're going to wrap episode 5 up there. We're on a bit of a roll at the moment. Benny probably won't be back until likely episode 7, I'd say, at this point. We are going to shoot another episode immediately after this. And obviously Ben is not here because he became a father literally this morning. So Benny will be back in a couple of episodes' time. We haven't completely sacked him just yet. It is still on the cards. We haven't ruled it out. But
he's on a warning.
Yeah, he's on his first strike. Now Benny will be back. We're going to wrap that up there. Thank you very much for listening.
And as Ben says, ciao.
Ciao.
Everything presented in this podcast is for information and entertainment purposes only, and all advice is to be considered general in nature. It does not take into account your personal circumstances and financial objectives. Please consider if this advice is right for you and look to consult a financial professional.